I was having a really tough time. I went to go for a run just to clear my head. I'm actively trying to figure out how to grow my brand while also have an active lifestyle while also showing up for my 9 to 5. There's something in my brain of like, why aren't you a full-time entrepreneur yet? Like, if I'm really all in on this, why haven't I quit my job and go all in and really trust myself that I can do this? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I feel like it has been a hot minute since I did a sit down video. I actually just filmed a video all about what I'm purchasing in Europe when I go there next month. I don't know which one of these will be live first. If that one's live first, I will link it above. I haven't done a sit down video in a while. Things have been really busy lately and I don't know why. I was just kind of like afraid to turn on the camera for some reason, but that ends today. I just want to do a candid sit down video and do a catch up and tell you guys what's been going on. So this is kind of going to be off the rip. There's no script or anything, but the last video that I filmed prior to the one just before this was my payday routine, and that was almost 2 weeks ago because it is almost payday again. So that video went live. I love that you guys really resonate with my money videos. I know that a lot of you resonate with my small business videos as well. This is kind of going to be around my small business and my 9 to 5 and how I'm feeling about both and doing both at the same time. But first, I just want to catch you guys up. Since filming my payday routine video, I'll have it linked over here if you haven't seen it. Since that, I have decided to run a 10K race here in Vancouver. I'm running the Vancouver Sun Run, which is going to be this upcoming Sunday. I decided a week before the actual race. I don't know, I think I've always wanted to do a race at some point in my life. I wasn't sure when or which one or what distance, but I am still a fairly beginner runner. I kind of started running maybe 2 years ago, very casually, just kind of getting my body up to speed and just getting used to running in general. It's been a really fun journey, honestly. Like I love running, and it's something that kind of just gets me outside. So when the weather started to turn, as you can see, it's very bright and beautiful and sunny here. When the weather started to turn here in Vancouver, I've been seeing a lot of run clubs along the seawall, and I just thought to myself, what am I waiting for? Truly. And I was kind of influenced by those runners and the run clubs to sign up for the Vancouver Sun Run. The Sun Run is actually, I think, Canada's largest 10K race. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but it's also just this big, fun, full of energy race here in Vancouver. It's also downtown, which is where I live. So I really don't have any excuses, and I'm excited to run. I just did my 8K before the 10K yesterday, and I'm feeling pretty good. I'm a bit sore today, but feeling really good. But I have been training for that. So that has just taken up a lot of my time. I know that I had maybe a week's notice, but yeah, I've just kind of been dedicating this week to just focusing on making sure that I feel good for that race. So that is on my mind. A couple other things on my mind is I am going to Europe, as I mentioned. I am just prepping for that trip. It's going to be a pretty long trip out east. So we'll start off in Toronto and then head off to France and then go to Spain. And then I'll be in Toronto for another 2 weeks, just working my 9 to 5 from there. And I might be going to New York. We might be doing a pop-up. You heard it here first. I'm kind of manifesting it, but there may be a pop-up that we're doing with Alyssa Lenore in New York sometime in June. I will give you guys more details as soon as I have them. Right now, it's still a bit up in the air in terms of what date it would be, but we do have some exciting new launches for the line. If you didn't know, you're new here and you're like, what are you talking about? I do have a small stationery business called The Line, and I have a 9 to 5 corporate job working in the e-commerce industry. So I'm kind of balancing both. That is gonna come back a little bit later as I talk about the topic I really want to chat about, why I turned on this camera. But yeah, that is in the works. I'm also going to be sponsoring a local class here in Vancouver. If you guys have heard of Legree, it's a pretty big studio here in Vancouver. They have a couple locations. They have their Mega May challenge coming up in May. It is currently the end of April. So I will be sponsoring one of the classes and I'm just prepping for that. So really really like lots of events and things happening. So that's kind of been taking up a lot of my mind. I'm actively trying to figure out how to grow my brand while also have an active lifestyle while also showing up for my 9 to 5. So there's just like a lot in my brain. I'm glad that I have this outlet to sort of like share it with you guys. I know that these like founder stories, sometimes it's almost like you see the end product, but really my founder diaries, like these types of videos, they're the, like how they got there. Eventually, I would love to be at my peak, at my mountaintop. Eventually, for now, it's still the climb. And I just want you guys to know that it's not always easy. It's not always glamorous. And I just want to show you the real life, real things going on behind the scenes, because it's a lot. And honestly, it's not for everyone, and sometimes I want to give up, but I don't, because I know that there's a large runway ahead of me and I know that I can do it. So that's kind of like my little spiel. But why I wanted to turn on the camera and talk to you guys today is a topic that has been top of mind for the last few months for me. And I want to share it with you guys because I want to kind of hear your perspective, and maybe some of you might be going through a similar thing, maybe not. It's something that is like on my mind and I'm feeling like I can actually articulate it now, whereas before it's all kind of like jumbled up thoughts on my brain. What's been going on in my brain? I have been seeing a ton of content on my TikTok For You page all about the job market and how terrible it is and how there's layoffs happening. We're in a recession, macroeconomic environment. We've got a really big dip in the stock market. Don't quit your job. Like that is like the narrative that is on my For You page right now. And I know that you build your For You page yourself because of the things that you watch and are interested in. I mean, there's other things on there as well. Oh, sorry, someone's calling me. One sec. Hello? That was a scammer. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, there's other things on my For You page like handbags and jewelry and stuff like that as well. But a large amount of content from people and creators on my For You page all about getting their job. But then there's some people who are like, have been employed for so long because of the layoffs and they're struggling to get a job. It's just a really interesting sort of mix and like dichotomy. Yeah, it's just a lot. And as you know, as I mentioned, I have my own 9 to 5 job that I'm so grateful for. I've been there for the last 7 years, almost 8 years. It's the reason why I moved here in Vancouver. It's the reason why I have so many opportunities today, and I'll never take it for granted. But on the parallel side of things, I'm growing my business. I know it's not paying the bills right now. It's not paying the mortgage right now, and that's why I have both. But I'm growing that business steadily, slowly, but surely. I don't know, sometimes there's something in my brain of like, why aren't you a full-time entrepreneur yet? You should take the leap and quit your job and go all in on this. Like those types of thoughts. And I've worked a lot of those thoughts out through therapy. Like I used to be really mad at myself or really annoyed at myself about the fact that I'm not a full-time entrepreneur. Like if I'm really all in on this, why haven't I quit my job and go all in and really trust myself that I can do this? And maybe there is a parallel universe where I do that, but my current situation, I think I'm just wired to be really safe and secure just with how I've grown up. I grew up with immigrant parents who moved here when they were like in their 40s, maybe 50s. No, I think in their 40s here in Canada. I grew up in the Philippines and we didn't grow up rich or anything like that. So I saw my parents growing up like really grinding. We didn't have like affluence or wealth growing up. And the reason why I'm the way that I am, throughout school, throughout university, I've had 2 or 3 jobs at the same time. I didn't grow up rich, basically. And to quit my job without anything lined up and knowing that this business is growing, but it's not paying the bills yet, like to quit my job and do that, like it just feels a little bit scary. But all of these things were kind of like jumbled in my head and I was feeling very, very torn. On top of seeing on social media that people are quitting their job, but also the job market is terrible. Like there comes a point where you just have to stop consuming those things. There was a point in the last week and a bit where there were promotions announced at my 9 to 5 job, and for some reason it like impacted me in the way of like, oh, they're getting promoted, I should be promoted, I should also be leveling up. I don't know if you guys ever get that sense. Honestly, like this is a very candid conversation, but when those things get announced, I kind of was like, why am I not leveling up in my career? But then I have to pause and be like, well, that's not what you really want. Like what you really want is to get your small business to a point where it's making you income to support your life so that you don't have to have both. My whole goal in this and why I'm doing both is so that I can grow my small business so that I can comfortably, safely quit my job, but not quit my job doing things to my small business that actually like ruins it, if that makes sense. Like if I quit my 9-to-5 job now, I think I would operate very, very differently with my small business. I would be scared that I wouldn't make rent. So then I would have to like discount a bunch of things. And right now I'm not operating in that way. I'm operating in a more like abundant sense that I can do and learn during this whole process. But anyway, I hope I haven't lost you guys yet. My whole point in this is I finally had a bit of clarity, and that is through ChatGPT. I was having a really, really tough time. I went to go for a run just to clear my head, and I used ChatGPT in a way that I've never used it before. I kind of used it as a bit of a like diary entry. I basically gave it the thoughts and feelings I was having in that moment, and I asked what advice it would give me, and it helped me tremendously. It was able to give me advice very like objectively, because I think in that moment when I typed up that prompt or that question to ChatGPT, I was very emotional, and the answers that it spit out to me, it gave me clarity. It gave me a sense of like peace, and like this is what I've been wanting to hear or read from someone. Like I was looking for advice and it actually gave me advice. So I want to share with you guys what it said, because it honestly really resonated with me, and maybe it'll resonate with you as well. So I'm going to pull up my ChatGPT and tell you guys what it said. So basically what I told ChatGPT is that I've been with my company for the last 7 years. I'm in the e-commerce industry, an industry that I know and love, and honestly feel grateful that I've like found my perfect niche. I mentioned that in the last 5 years, I started a side hustle, which turned into a small business, but it's not my main source of income. My 9-to-5 is still my main source of income. And my dilemma is, do I just go all in on my business and like really risk it all? A few things to consider is that I do have a pretty high paying job relative to the market right now, and I'm also paying a mortgage. I think that my job is safe and secure. However, the reason why I don't want to quit my job and just focus on my business is because of the uncertainty of the economic landscape right now. There's days where parts of me, I think that I should go all in on my business, but then there's the financial aspect. I'm grateful that I still have the time and the space to work on my small business after work. And I know that if I quit my job, it will stress me out a lot, because I'll have to find a way to like supplement my small business income. So I asked, based on this, what is your recommendation? So that was basically the information that I gave it and my prompt. And it just gave me the best advice, truly. So what ChatGPT said is, number one, you are in a very strong position right now. You have a stable, well-paying job. You're not stretched too thin, and you have time to grow your small business and enjoy life. And that is a huge asset, and not everyone gets that balance. Once I read that, I'm like, that is so true. I'm able to focus on my health and wellness outside of work. I'm able to still work on my small business outside of work and still have my 9-to-5 and still feel like whole and complete. I feel like if any one of those things are being jeopardized, especially my health, like that is a big indicator, but right now it's not. So I'm considering that a good thing because I can still have balance. The next thing it said is the financial risk of jumping ship right now is real. You're wise to recognize that. Mortgage payments, cost of living, and the general economic uncertainty, these are very real pressures. And you said yourself quitting would stress you out a lot, not a little. That's an important flag. Being financially stressed can actually hurt your business growth because you'll be operating from fear instead of clarity. And that's kind of what I mentioned earlier of like, if I quit my job now, like, yes, I'll have all the time, but I'll also feel like I'll have to do a bunch of sales or just crazy things just to like generate some income. Whereas right now I'm feeling like there's no pressure to drive as much revenue as I need to, just because I'm not relying on my small business as like my main source of income, if that makes sense. And then the last thing ChatGPT said is, you're not stuck, you're strategically choosing stability. Sometimes people feel like, if I don't jump now, I'm failing my dreams, but that's not what's happening here. You are working on your business. You're building the runway. Staying employed for now doesn't mean you're giving up. Okay, my camera just died, so I'm filming the rest of this on my iPhone, but I just wanted to make sure I close out this video. I feel like I have been comparing myself to others, like what I'm seeing on social media and people going all in on their business. Why am I not? Like, I should not be comparing myself to others, and it's so much easier said than done. Like, I know that intrinsically, but sometimes you can't help it, or sometimes you're just kind of like, you're watching and scrolling and you're like, I should be like that too. But I always, when I try to catch myself, and when that happens, that's when I know I need to just step away, go outside, go for a run, go to yoga, like just really think about what this means for yourself and maybe why you're feeling that way. Is it because you are comparing yourself to others or having these unrealistic expectations? Because the reality of it is I do have to worry about a mortgage, and the fact that I am employed right now is such a good thing, especially as we get into this recession. And really, when the time comes to go all in on my business, I want to get there feeling really excited and not scared. And I feel like right now I would feel scared. Like if I left my job, or if I got laid off, or if I quit and my only source of income is my small business, I would feel terrified, and maybe I would operate my business in a different way, and I wouldn't have all of this freedom, and my head would be filled with things of like not making enough money, and I would have to get another 9 to 5 just to supplement it, all of those things. But right now I don't have that because I have such a secure base, and now I can play. I can do what I want with my small business. Honestly, that's such a gift. So I don't want to take that for granted, and I do acknowledge that where I'm at is a very secure place to be. We might be hearing that everyone is quitting their job, but this is why I'm not, and I'm super clear on that. And I always need to remember that anytime I'm like, why am I not a full-time entrepreneur yet? Like, I need to ground myself. I need to rewatch this video, because everything that I said and what I read through ChatGPT is true, at least as of right now. So if you've made it this far, I just want to say a huge thank you. I really, really appreciate you being part of this journey. If you have any questions or any thoughts, please leave them in the comments down below. I would love to hear them, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys.